What's up guys, welcome to a new video. In today's video we will take a look at all the updates available for the JP markets situation. Now I'm pretty sure that recently you guys have seen Justin Paulson's new updates on his Instagram profile, which just states what he's gonna do to get back his name in this industry. But I'm pretty sure that after reading this article, if you're new to the situation, you might have some questions, and I'm pretty sure one of those questions is, why does this guy have to dig himself out of the mud like this? Now, in today's video, we will do three things. We will look at the information that's available currently. We will take a look at why the FSA is so upset with Justin Paulson. And then I also asked Justin Paulson if there is anything that he would like the public to know. So I will shine some light on that as well. So let's get into it. Okay, so recently we have seen this update by MoneyWeb about JP markets, and I'm pretty sure that this is an update that we have been waiting for such a long time. Now, when I say we, I know for a fact that I'm not the only one that was waiting for an update about this, and I'm just gonna go through this quickly, and then we can, switch over to why the FSA is so upset with him. Okay, so this article, I'm reading off my phone. So this article is headlined, JP Markets asks SCA whether the regulator was right to shut it down when it wasn't insolvent. Okay, so first off on this article, you can see this article is pushing towards the conversation of liquidation. Now, when a company gets liquidated, normally it is because that they are insolvent. They cannot keep the business afloat anymore. But this liquidation application has been of a different nature, and I'm just going to ask you guys patiently to stick with me through to the end so that you can understand everything. Okay, so the article starts off by reading, JP Markets was an extraordinary South African success story. Founded in 2016 by Justin Paulson, then just 29 years old, JP Markets grew into an online brokering powerhouse with more than 300,000 clients, generating annual profits running to hundreds of millions of rands. Between 20,000 and 30,000 of these clients were active in the market on a regular basis. JP Markets offered clients the possibility to invest in a type of derivative called CFDs, which is contract for differences, which tracks the price movements of actual financial instruments without having to own the underlying asset. Clients could pick from more than 500 instruments, from forex to indices and individual stocks. The article then further goes on to say, we know that JP Markets was hugely profitable because the company's various bank accounts reflect a balance of 258 million rand, while claims against the liquidated company total around 40 million rand. That makes Paulson the largest claimant against the liquidated estate. Now, there's a little subheading there, and this reads, what we also know is that Paulson is not accused of stealing or misappropriating a cent of clients' money. There were complaints from customers who lost money due to a technical glitch during a trading halt in March 2020 when the COVID crash was in full bloom. But there were no complaints from those who made money during the same event. And even if JP Markets was to repay all the clients who lost money, they would still have a surplus. The article goes on to read, Gerard van Deventer, head of the FSA's investigation unit, says the issue of JP Markets' solvency is not the issue, rather that it was in violation of the law and its licensing obligations, and that the regulator was forced to act to protect the interests of clients. Paulson also asks why only he was shut down and not other online brokers doing exactly the same thing. The FSA replies that 16 others are being investigated but cannot provide more details at this stage. So it is at this point that there is 16 other brokers that is acting without the necessary licensing that JP Markets also lacked, which is why we are here where we are today. And that is quite an alarming number, 16 brokers, guys. And further when we go into JP Markets comments, because like I told you guys, I asked Justin for further comments that he just wants the public to understand, and this is one of the things that he wants, the public clearly to understand, that there is 16 other brokers out there without the necessary licensing, and they are still doing business. The article goes on to read, Paulson's questions are about to be answered by the Supreme Court of Appeal following an appeal lodged by JP Markets and its 100% shareholder Paulson against the FSA and the final liquidation order granted on 7 September by the South Gauteng High Court. The article further goes on to read, there's a subheading that's been made, FSA's regulatory powers in the spotlight. The SCA court filings lodged by Paulson raised some interesting questions about the limits of the FSA's regulatory powers. JP Markets had a Category 1 FSP license, which allowed it to provide advisory and intermediary services in respect of derivative instruments and deposits. So I want you guys to take note of this, because in the article they note this, and in the FSA findings they note this as well, but in the FSA findings they go a little bit deeper into this, so just pay attention. The article then goes on to read, the issue of investigation, whether complete or not, is relevant to JP Markets since Paulson and his attorney Darren Hanekom, also involved in representing clients of the AfriCrypt crypto scheme, believed they were assisting the FSA with its requests for information until they were blindsided by the rush to court for a final winding up order. Another subheading reads, Paulson says he is not entirely sure what triggered the FSA's sudden zeal to close it down, but suspects it had to do with a host of complaints relating to a trading halt in March 2020. One of the things that the FSA spoke about and was catching JP Markets on was the fact that there were withdrawal delays, and I find it, you know, quite upstanding for the article to mention this as well. So the little part about the withdrawal delays in the article reads as follows. Another batch of complaints received by the FSA apparently had to do with delays in processing requests for withdrawals. JP Markets built its name on honoring requests for withdrawals within hours of a client making a request. This was in stark contrast to others in the same business who often processed withdrawal requests once a week or every few days. Paulson explains the delays in March 2020 were caused by the COVID lockdowns and the shift to remote working for back office admin staff. At its peak, JP Markets employed 78 staff, most of whom were suddenly expected to continue working from home. So that is a big point as well, and I think with him screenshotting these parts, these are probably the most important parts that he wanted to highlight out of this article. Now, like I said, we're going to look at why the FSA is so cross at JP Markets as well, and I have gone through the effort of reading all of those documents, so you don't have to, and then I've just streamlined them. They are all available on the FSA website for you to go and check it out, for you to go and read. But like I said, I have streamlined them so that we can catch the important parts about why the FSA is so angry at JP Markets. Okay, so like I said, I streamlined all of the information concerning the FSA reports, and it goes as follows. So the FSA investigation came about because there was a plethora of complaints from clients, and the complaints was mainly covered with failure of payouts and clients that suffered losses due to interrupted access to the platform. Now, in 2016, it's important to note, and this is noted in the article as well, in 2016, Justin Paulson and JP Markets was issued with a Category 1 license, and this was to provide advice and render intermediary services in respect of derivative instruments and deposits as defined in the Banks Act. Now, that was also mentioned in the article, right? But during the course of the investigation, the FSA came across things that paints a different picture. So the first thing that the FSA found that really sparked them was the fact that JP Markets offered clients access to a trading platform. Clients then opened accounts and deposited funds into one of the bank accounts in the name of and under full control of JP Markets. This deposit then allows clients to trade in the forex market to the tune of what they deposited. Clients were not trading on an online decentralized global financial market. They also found that clients were trading on an app that recorded these trades. The FSA also found that the CFDs sold was issued by JP Markets. The FSA also found that JP Markets needs an OTC license to conduct these services lawfully. So once again, coming back to what the FSA is actually targeting Justin on, it's the fact that he didn't have a specific license. The FSA investigation also found that there was a toxic group with different trading conditions for the high earners. According to Saad Sidat, withdrawals were refused to those who were still profiting in the toxic group. So if you're a little bit confused there with what is happening, the FSA investigation found that there was a group created with different conditions than the normal market conditions, right? And according to Saad Sidat, who at the time was a platform manager for JP Markets, according to him, JP Markets would refuse withdrawals from clients that was in the toxic group and still profiting. The FSA also notes that when their license got suspended, JP Markets was barred from doing new business and the company simply did not comply. Now, due to this, an urgent application for liquidation was then filed, and this is why we are where we are right now. Now, like I said, I'm gonna keep my opinion out of this, and I'm gonna go straight to Justin Paulson's opinions, because I did ask him, like I said, in the Instagram inbox, if there is anything that he would like the public to understand. So crossing over to my Instagram inboxes, this is where I then asked JP Markets, "Morning Justin, I'll be making an update video of the situation and why I believe the FSA was wrong. Is there anything you want me to include in my video on your side?" So I reached out to Justin, as you guys can see, and I asked him, listen, if there's anything that you want the public to understand and know about this whole situation. Justin then replied by saying, "Yeah, sure, if you can send it to me and I can comment and you can include or exclude if you prefer. The facts are, the main thing is regarding ODP licenses. Here are some facts. It came into effect June 2019, 2 years later, and no forex broker has ODP license." What Justin meant there is that the licensing policy came into effect June 2019, and up until now there is no other forex broker with an ODP license. Now that is a valid point as well, and I believe that the FSA should spark, man. The second point that Justin Paulson made was that they applied late, and when they applied, the FSA accepted their application. The third point that Justin Paulson made was they haven't touched any other broker, meaning they haven't looked into any other broker. The fourth point that Justin made was brokers applied after JP Markets and are still in operation. And I can understand why that is a little bit of a sore issue. The fifth point that Justin makes was the law states that ODP requires a trade repository and a central clearing house to operate properly. The FSA have not even implemented that. The sixth point that Justin made was, we told the FSA that we will be late in our submissions. So he notified them. The seventh point that he made was there are operators which the FSA is aware of and haven't done anything. Nobody understands why. The eighth point that Justin Paulson also made was they are targeting the biggest provider to use us as an example. Anything else, you're welcome to ask, bro. At this point, you can kind of get the gist of what Justin is trying to say. He's busy being penalized while everyone else is not being penalized, and he's being penalized simply for the fact that they would like to make an example. And from where I'm standing, like I said, I'm gonna keep my opinion out of this, but I must say this. From where I'm standing, it seems like the things that the FSA wants to get Justin liquidated for and the things that Justin Paulson is fighting for, it seems like those are two different things. Please let me know in the comments what you think about it, because there was a time that I also traded with JP Markets, and I understand that there's some of you, like JP Markets in South Africa, it's a split thing. It's either you like JP Markets or you do not like JP Markets. There's literally no in between. So let me know in the comment section where you stand. Are you for the liquidation of the company, or are you for the company making a comeback? If you came this far, thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please do smash the like button. That would really help out the YouTube algorithm push this video. Please do leave your comment in the comment section. If you're new here, I welcome you to my channel. Please do smash that subscribe button. On that note though, ladies and gentlemen, I'll see you guys in the next video. Cheers.